Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, is the Rock On Rap Songs book tag. And it's an original tag by Nicole over at Nicole's Bookish Nook. And she's got a few of these music related tags. So she tagged me in the description box below is linked to her original, and then you can her description box or the other videos in the series. I was also tagged by James at Quaint and Curious Volumes. So I have the prompts here and the questions over here. I have a few books to hold up. And the first prompt asks people to tag. The first prompt is It's a Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z. A fiction or non-fiction book about an orphanage, a poor family, or an orphan. Okay, John Irving doesn't get talked enough on BookTube. As far as I'm concerned, I've talked with Book Chat with Pat about John Irving, and my favorite John Irving book is A Widow for 1 Year. If you haven't read that, it's my favorite one. Followed by Till I Find You. It's a book about like tattoos. But to answer the prompt, Cider House Rules. There's an orphanage in that, and what real topical. It's about when abortion was illegal too, and really back in the day. Excellent book though, excellent movie. 2, Walk This Way by Errol Smith. A favorite featuring Run DMC. A favorite book of yours that blends genres. And I talk about this, or I did a few years ago, talked about a lot. Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. I've read a few of his novels at this point, and they're all excellent. Not quite violent, but this blends fantasy, and it's mostly a fantasy novel, but I guess in mythology, African mythology, that he embellished and made his own, and he made his own genre in this novel, for sure. Prompt 3, Just Lose It by Eminem. A book that you think is funny or ridiculous in a bad way. I've mentioned this before. It's a book that no one has read besides me, by the famous actor Sean Penn, whom I like as an actor and as an activist. I like Sean Penn. I won't digress anymore, but he wrote, I think, 2 novels, and the second one is called Bob, Honey, Do Stuff. Bob, B-O-B, honey, do, D-O, stuff. And on the back it has all these blurbs by famous people in that. The book is almost unreadable. Check it out. Or at least Google it. 4, Thunderstruck by AC/DC. A book that shocked you in a good or bad way. And here I put The Pillars of the Earth. Another, Ken Follett doesn't get talked a lot on BookTube. And I've read all his books. And certainly every 4 books in the Kingsbury series I read with my friend Jeremy Fee, over at Jeremy Fee. He hasn't put out a video in a while. So, yes. The Pillars of the Earth, the first one, and there's 3 other ones. But I remember reading that back in the day, back in like the early 90s on a bus in Tempe, Arizona, and reading along, and one of the main characters is killed. And I literally shouted, "Yow!" It sounded something like that. And everyone turned and looked at me. I was quite embarrassed, but that is my answer. Prompt 5, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. A book about LA, or a book that takes place in and around LA. Boy, several great ones to choose from. But I was just talking about John James Elroy, and his LA Confidential series, another 4-book series, which I was talking about, the Black Dahlia, I think with Christopher Evenstar the other day, because he spoke at Powell's a couple of years ago when that Swastika book came out, which I have not read. I want to, and I had to work or something, I couldn't go. But one moment. Thanks. Had to get a drink of water. We bit parched. So, yeah, John Elroy, James Elroy. Why do I call him John? But he's a character. But I love his writing style and that LA Confidential. I'm going with that. I'd like to read that whole series. 6, Give Me All Your Lovin', ZZ Top, your favorite romance book. Or if you don't read romance, a novel with your favorite couple. One great couple is in this book, Shantaram, which I highly recommend. I enjoyed reading this book. It's pretty big, but I've read it a couple times. I've given it away as gifts. Now, Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, as well as Steve Donahue, did not like it, but other people do, and I do, and it's a great story. The woman's name is Karen. I forget the main character's name, but I remember the romance. It's a side story that really worked for me. Shadram. Fight for Your Right to Party by the Beastie Boys. A book centered around a celebration. I finally got around to reading this book and reviewing it this year. Under the Volcano by Malcolm Lowry. Takes place during the Day of the Dead in Mexico. Really interesting book. God, I can't talk tonight. It's my allergies coupled by that. Right. 8, Firestarter by Prodigy, a book that has fire in the title or an orange or red cover. Another guy who doesn't get talked enough on BookTube, Tom Robbins. I really like his stuff, and I've read all of it. And I'd like to reread Jitterbug Perfume. And then I'd like to read another Roadside Attraction. This is Fierce Invalids, Home from Hot Climates. This is the one about like the Middle East. I don't know, can't remember. But it's my answer to that. And last but not least, Prompt 9, Humble by Kendrick Lamar, a fiction or nonfiction book that left you stunned at the audacity of the main character or the writer. I just reviewed this yesterday, I think. Oh man, just totally enamored with it. Couldn't put it down. That is master, slave, husband, wife, nonfiction. Reads like fiction. Great story. I'm just going to recommend it. And it's going around. It was a finalist in the BookTube Prize, etc. So, if I mentioned you and you haven't done the tag, you're tagged. I'm also going to tag. I don't know if these People haven't done the tag yet, but Kat at God, what's her name again? Ginger Bibliophile Reads might be in it. I'm notorious for butchering fellow booktubers' names until I get used to it. Elaine at Cobalt Dragon, Floss at Great Jelly Library, and Angelia at Read and Reread. So, thank you for indulging me and for your time and consideration, putting up with my speech as I struggle through this tag video. So, like, subscribe, make a comment. I'll reply back to you. Make it a good one. Talk to you later.